Moscow. The police in Ukraine have opened a criminal investigation into whether allies of President Trump had the United States ambassador to the country under surveillance while she was stationed in Kyiv, the Ukrainian government said on Thursday.
The move was a remarkable departure from past practice for the government, which has studiously tried to avoid making moves that could make a political splash in Washington.
Caught in the middle of the conflict between Democrats and Republicans over whether Mr. Trump's pressure campaign on Ukraine justifies his removal from office, President Volodymyr Zelensky and his government have worked hard to appear neutral.
But developments have prompted a change of course. On Tuesday, just before Mr. Trump's impeachment trial in the Senate was scheduled to begin, Democrats in the House of Representatives published text messages to and from Lev Parnas, an associate of Rudolph W. Giuliani, the president's personal lawyer, pointing to surveillance of the ambassador, Marie L. Yovanovitch. The Internal Affairs Ministry of Ukraine said in a statement released on Thursday that the country cannot ignore such illegal activities on its territory, adding that the national police had started criminal proceedings after analyzing the new material. Our goal is to investigate whether there were any violations of Ukrainian and international laws, the ministry said in the statement. Or maybe it was just bravado and fake conversation between two U.S. citizens. Mr. Parnas was involved in a campaign, led by Mr. Giuliani, to pressure the Ukrainian government to investigate former Vice President Joseph R. Biden Jr., a Democratic presidential candidate, and his son, Hunter Biden, over the younger Mr. Biden's lucrative time on the board of a Ukrainian gas company, Burisma. Also on Thursday, Ukraine said it had asked the FBI for help investigating the reported penetration of Burisma's computer systems by hackers working for Russian intelligence. As part of the pressure campaign against Ukraine, Mr. Trump's allies were trying to have Ms. Yovanovitch, who was seen as an impediment, removed from her post. Mr. Trump recalled her last spring. Last March, an exchange between Mr. Parnas and another man, Robert F. Hyde, indicated that Mr. Hyde was in contact with people who were watching Ms. Yovanovitch. "They are willing to help if you would like a price," one message from Mr. Hyde read. Mr. Parnas said in a televised interview on Wednesday that he had not taken Mr. Hyde's offer seriously. Mr. Hyde told the Sinclair Broadcasting host Eric Bolling in a television interview on Wednesday that he was absolutely not monitoring Ms. Yovanovitch. He said he was under the influence of alcohol when he sent his messages to Mr. Parnas. "It was just colorful, we were playing, I thought we were playing," Mr. Hyde said. The State Department did not reply to a list of questions about the text messages, surveillance of Ms. Yovanovitch, or Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's knowledge of the matter and role in her ouster. Until now, Ukraine's government has tried to stay out of the impeachment debate as much as possible. Washington is Kyiv's most powerful ally in Ukraine's conflict with Russia, and Ukrainian officials have sought to build a good relationship with Mr. Trump. At the same time, Ukrainians are aware that a Democrat could win the White House in November. They have refrained from making moves, such as publicly announcing an investigation related to Mr. Biden, as Mr. Trump's emissaries sought, that could leave Ukraine open to accusations of interfering in U.S. domestic politics. In a sign that Ukrainian officials remain concerned about such accusations, the statement on Thursday revealing the investigation said that Ukraine's position was not to interfere in the domestic affairs of the United States of America. But Ukrainian law and international obligations to protect the rights of diplomats serving on its territory had forced the country to respond, the statement said. It called on the FBI to provide all available information and materials related to people who may be involved in a possible criminal offense. Arsen Avakov, Ukraine's interior minister, said the United States should take part in the investigation. Ukraine expects the United States of America to respond promptly and looks forward to cooperation, the Interior Ministry's statement said. Anton Troyanovsky reported from Moscow, and Richard Perez Peña from London. Edward Wong contributed reporting from Washington.